Do you struggle with wasting your food or not even knowing what is in your freezer? Well, today I am going to be reorganizing my freezer and decluttering it as well. I would love for you to join me as I declutter mine and you can declutter your freezer as well. So let's get going. The very first step is that we want to empty everything into coolers. As you are clearing out your freezer, you want to throw away or toss anything that is expired or freezer burned. We're trying not to waste food here, but sometimes it just happens. Our deep freeze was stuffed too full and it started to thaw. A bunch of stuff got ruined. Unfortunately, that is gonna go, but you're gonna wanna do that with everything as you are taking it out of your freezer and putting it into your cooler. Once your freezer is empty, if it is full of ice, this would be a really good time to stop and defrost it. If you would like to learn how to defrost your deep freezer, I have a link left below in the description. This would be a good time to give this a quick wipe down. If you don't want to use a cooler and take everything out of your freezer that way, you can just set it on the counter. You just want to try and work somewhat quickly. The best way that I have found to be able to keep my freezer organized is to use organizers. Now this is my absolute favorite thing to use. This is actually made to be a file holder. I'm pretty sure I got this at Target several years ago. I'll link it down below if I can find it. But containing the items is going to make it much easier to keep it organized. I also have this little basket here. I just try and use what I can. It is a little bit difficult to get things to fit in, especially in a drawer freezer. That's why I really like these. I didn't have room in my cooler, so I have a bunch of stuff here. So I'm gonna try and hurry and get the next things done. I've emptied out the freezer, I took out these organizers and washed them down real quick. And now I'm going to separate everything into like items. I bought way too much of this mixed fruit. I forgot that I had this little freezer here and I had already bought a package. So I have a lot of this, but we use these for smoothies mostly. I probably will be taking some of this fruit down to the deep freeze in the basement. Okay, now I'm gonna take everything out of the cooler and put those into the piles that they belong to. I know it may not look like it, but I actually have these separated into like item piles. I have fruits, and if I had any vegetables, I'd have those there. I have all the meats. I have some yeast baking stuff. Actually, I'm gonna put that over by the butter. It's kind of baking, and the nuts, potatoes, breads, and then this is mostly quick, easy dinners or after school snacks, and then like ice cream and popsicles and any desserts. I'm gonna go ahead and just see how I can fit the containers inside the freezer. This one here, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. And then I have this little container here. I'm actually thinking I freed up this one from decluttering some other things. I might stick that there, or I could even go like that. I can't decide yet. So we'll see how everything fits. Okay, I'm gonna stick all the meat in this area because I know it's probably not gonna all fit in here. I'm gonna try and put these chicken thighs on the top because you can see that the seal has come undone and they are getting freezer burned. So I wanna use those up as soon as possible. Oh, just gonna put them there for a second. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the fruit. Peaches from our tree, cherries from our tree, and then some mixed fruit here. All right, that works. Okay, I'm gonna do the nuts over here. I have way too many nuts. I'm gonna try and use them up. I use pecans the most. All right, this is where I have to start getting pretty creative. I'm gonna put the quick chicken dinners over here by the meat. I made the mistake of buying 2 huge bags of these from Sam's Club or Costco or wherever. We don't really love them, so I'm trying to learn my lesson and not do that again with these, but we're gonna try and use them up anyway. I do like these, so we use those quite a bit. I have this other quick chicken dinner, and I don't want the box because we've already used 1 bag. So I think I'm gonna take the bag out and then cut out the instructions and stick them in my junk drawer so that I can remember how to cook them. The bread, actually, you know what? I only want to keep 1 up here in the freezer because I don't have room. So the other one I put in the basement, although we are almost out of bread up here. So I'm just going to put that in our pantry. Put the bread up here. The quick, fast meals down here. I need to just get these out and make some for my kids for after school, even just today. I can use those up. Now things do get kind of buried, but when you have them separated, you know what is in there so that you can find what you're looking for. I'm gonna put the potatoes back here. That works. Here I'm gonna put the baking stuff. So yeast, and I I have a little bit of bread flour. I like to try and freeze it. I do have some in the cupboard as well, but it lasts longer. I could put the butter back there, but a perfect spot is this little spot here. I use these ice packs every day for school lunches. And then we have just some other ice packs. Okay, here's the end result. A full freezer, nice and organized. Now we need to use it all up. Okay, I was able to fit most of everything from the small freezer and my regular freezer back into the freezer. I have a few items left here. I'm going to be using this for dinner this week, so I think I'm just gonna stick it in the fridge right now so that I can use it up. Same with this tomato soup. So I'm gonna put those in the fridge. I got rid of a couple boxes and I just have a few things to take downstairs to the freezer downstairs. And I'll show you what is down there and how I organize in that freezer. Unfortunately, I have to throw away a lot, especially the stuff that was on the top shelf here. Our freezer had to get stuffed full and we didn't realize that that would cause a problem. So a lot of it thawed out, refroze, got a lot of freezer burn on it. So we have to throw away quite a bit. All these popsicles, they got all melted. Yeah, this entire box. This popsicle back here, I can see it. It's gone, which means it melted all over. This is some peach ice cream that I made, and I know this melted. Unfortunately, I have to throw that out. When it thawed out, things spilled. I had just defrosted this freezer, unfortunately, so I have to do it again. Gross, huh? I don't even know what that is. And I'm going to show you how I keep this one organized. The top shelf here, I usually keep my jams and ice cream, which is not here, and popsicles. The next shelf, I have all of my frozen fruits. And then over here are quick, fast, easy meals or snacks. And then this drawer and the bottom is where I keep all the meat. I keep this big bucket down here, which makes it really easy to throw all of my meats in here. Chicken, steak, ground beef. I also have just some extra meat over here that doesn't fit. I have these ribs, and back there is some more breaded chicken. Down here on the bottom, this is where we keep our salmon. We are commercial fishermen in Alaska, sometimes in the summers, so we have a lot of salmon. And actually, we're having salmon for dinner tonight, so I'm gonna grab one of these and take it upstairs to thaw out. And then over here in the door, I keep nuts and yeast over there, and any other baking things that I would have. I have a little bit of pesto in this little container here, and some orange juice on the bottom. I really don't keep a lot in the door. If you like decluttering and organizing videos, make sure you subscribe below. I make videos like this every week. An organized freezer feels so good, doesn't it? Now that you can find what you need to be able to use up that food that you have. To start this process, we need to know what we have so that we know what we can use up. We're gonna take inventory of what we have inside our freezer. And then I like to just sit down and plan out my week's worth of meals based on what I have in my freezer. I did stick to this menu all week, but I only filmed just a couple of them. I really hope you are enjoying today's video. If you are, please click on the thumbs up button down below. For tonight's dinner, I grabbed this tomato soup, homemade tomato soup out of my freezer. It will melt here nicely and get nice and bubbly and warm. And I'm gonna be making some grilled ham and cheese sandwiches to go with it. All right, tonight is night one to use up what I have in my freezer. I'm going to be making a tortellini soup rolls with it. So I'm gonna pull those out and get those thawed out. Here's some tortellini. I have half a pound of Italian sausage that goes in this recipe, so I'm going to use that up. I also have some garden carrots that I need to use up, so this is a perfect recipe to use these up. The only two items I had to purchase at the grocery store was zucchini and a green pepper. The rest of the items I have in my pantry, or I always have. I have an onion here that I'm going to cut up. Click on the video here for 4 more easy dinners. And click on the video here for 4 easy steps to declutter and organize your pantry. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.